Everything that I've talked about up to this point has been in my past. Today I'm going to talk about addiction, and that is in my present life. You see, 10 years ago, we were approached by a complete stranger who informed us that my stepdaughter was a heroin addict. Widely known apparently in the community. Red flags would have been that our spoons were disappearing. Shoestrings were disappearing out of not just her shoes, but her siblings. And she got expelled from her last year in high school for snorting Adderall and convinced us that she had never done it before. And here it was, just a mere 9 months later, that we find out that she is in fact a heroin addict. First, we didn't believe it. Didn't understand it. We were naive. I've never been introduced to the world of drugs. I had no clue. But I swore that I was going to be able to fix it in no time and that our lives were just going to go on as normal. And here we are 10 years later. So I watch her mother just be destroyed. She lives through the torment every single day that she may not have a daughter any longer, that her daughter is going to succumb to the lifestyle or the drugs. She has manipulated and stolen from her family, and she has lost every relationship in her family. The only person that speaks to her at this time is her own mother. Everyone else has chosen to leave the chaos behind. Back in August of last year was our most recent attempt to help her. You know, she has been in rehabs, and I can't tell you how many times. And every single time, she never completed the program. But last August, we received a phone call. And on the other end, the gentleman says to us, if you do not come get her, she's going to die. Of course, who's not going to react to that? So being scared to death, I found myself in the trenches of Baltimore and looking for my stepdaughter. Had no idea where she was going to be, but there we were, looking in every single tent because we were informed that she was in fact on the streets. What we found was absolutely deplorable. We found this human, the person that we loved, the person that we raised, that was now lying in a filthy, stench-ridden tent. One thing that really stands out to me was the dirt underneath of her fingernails. I didn't recognize her. I had to look a couple of times to make sure it was in fact her. And so after a lot of coercing and a lot of conversation and being approached numerous times while we were standing there if we wanted to buy drugs, so we convinced her to come with us so that we could find her the help that she needs. After 4 days of attempting to find a bed that was open that would take her, 4 days, we finally were able to get her in a rehab. We put her in a hotel because we certainly weren't going to put her in her own home or around her daughter. Only for her to leave that rehab 2 weeks later. What I can tell you about the world of addiction is there's always the unknown. There's broken relationships. I saw firsthand the system is absolutely broken. I can't imagine being in her shoes, having to wake up, figure out how you're going to get your fix, figure out how you're going to research on a phone that you may not have, or make phone calls, or be available for the intake calls. So right now we've convinced ourselves she's just not ready. You know, what they say is that the person is not ready to get clean if they're being forced. So apparently she's not ready. So we live every single day not knowing if we are going to get that phone call.